Welcome to The Real Deal. You wake up thinking the same thing every single day. Where's my phone so I can check my messages? But what else do you know? You find out what day it is. What day is it today? What's happening? Do I have an appointment? Do I have something scheduled? Do I have to go to the dentist? Like whatever it might be. In trading, it is all about understanding what is going on that day. I want to talk about why the calendar is your friend, something that came up today. Whether your style of trading is scalp trading, position trading, hold it all day, futures, whatever it might be, you need to understand the context of the market that you are going to be trading in before you make trades. And it all starts with that preparation. What is on the calendar? Anybody and their mother knows what's going on with the semis recently. There's been big time movement, and you had three examples of what I'm about to talk about here today. You had SMCI with guidance a couple weeks ago. You had TSM, Taiwan Semi. They bolstered the semiconductor market. Today, you had a major player in the semiconductor game, ASML, report strong earnings and blow it out the water. They're up 10% in Europe, dual listed as well, so you can trade them in Canada, but they're up 10%. So you know there's going to be movement if you're trading the chip names. If you're going to be trading in Nvidia today, you had to look at this, see that we're already gapped up before the U.S. market even opened up. Overnight, you got those earnings, and they were a blowout. So there's going to be an outsized opportunity in some of the chip names. ASML, it's not just that it's breaking out today, it's a big-time breakout on the daily. If you don't know this is happening, say you ignore the European markets or just don't read up on anything, you just only look at your charts, you might think it can be a normal day in Nvidia. Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't a normal day relative to the last two. Nvidia continued its charge to the upside. This is what happened on the open on Nvidia. Now, if you thought it was going to be relatively muted compared to the previous day, it was an inside day by the end of it with a wick bottom. Today, it was a rip-your-face-off rally. It's not to say that you're just automatically going long, but you're anticipating something a little different in the chip space because you looked up that calendar, because you know who reported, and you understood that one of the important names had a monster breakout. Well, what else do we know about the calendar today? Another fantastic example is everybody's excited about Tesla. Okay, that's great. Tesla's a great day trading stock. Nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. It gives you moves. It gives you opportunities. There's always good volume. But they report after the bell today. And what happens when everyone's anticipating earnings? Sometimes you can't break out of the range because no one's making those big bets. Positioning themselves in either direction. And in the case of Tesla, you end up with an inside of the last 3 days range. Something on our morning preparation we talked about specifically. Now, can you win on an inside trade? Tops and bottoms. Sure you can. But it's not going to break. It doesn't break outside of the range. Now, it's not as simple as, okay, now 100% because earnings are on Tesla today, I'm not going to look for any types of breakouts. I'm not going to look for continuation. It's just another arrow in your quiver that you can anticipate range bounds so that when you get the bounce off the bottom, you're making sure you grab your profits back out of the top. Sometimes things will run going into earnings. A lot of times they might do it in the second half of the day. But if you're unaware of what's ahead in that calendar to give you an indication of the type of day it might be on Tesla, then you're missing out on something very, very important that should be a part of your morning prep. And, you know, I'm going to give you another example of this. And the reason why I want to talk about something that we don't usually mention. Like we trade equities on the live show, as you guys all know. You know, we're not Forex traders. You're going to be trading equities here at Trader TV Live. But here's a USD CAD. So right at about 9:45, it went from just chilling out down at the lows to, oh my goodness, let's gap up and go into the 135, and it levitates to the upside. Well, obviously something happened here. Now, if you don't know what it was, then you probably shouldn't be trading Forex. You probably shouldn't also be trading something that's going to be dual listed. And I'll give you an example of something that doesn't move that was dual listed today. Like a stock, this is a company being bought by another one. It has a defined range for 2 days because it's just a buyout stock. What happens at 9:45? It goes from the bottom right to the top. So there was an opportunity in this stock to fade it, but what happened at 9:45? Well, Canada had its interest rate decision. So when an interest rate decision happens, is it going to move the currency? Typically so. And if you're ready for it, you can take advantage of it. If you're not, you can find yourself absolutely blown out. And I'm talking from experience. Years ago, I was actually trading a dual listed buyout, stable range, tons of volume. I was having a fantastic morning. I actually had my best day of the month trading both the US and the Canadian buyout at the same time, doing market making on it. And then all of a sudden, at 10 o'clock, I lost half my day in the blink of an eye. Now it stabilized immediately after that, and I remember it was about 20 seconds after it happened, I put my head down, I just shook it and said, Canadian interest rate decision. I had gotten so wrapped up in all the executions and the fantastic morning and all those trades that I forgot to look at the calendar and note the time and note the day. I knew it was coming. I could have just canceled orders and take advantage of the move, but I wasn't ready for it. You can get lost in the sauce. Whether you keep up, you go to investing.com, whatever source it might be. Ben Zing has got a calendar. I think it's a fantastic one as well. That's what I'm using oftentimes. As long as you know, hey, check our watch list every single day. That has economic data on it. Where you get your information from is up to you. We're going to provide you with a bunch of free stuff, but you got to do your own diligence as well. If you don't know, then you are running the risk of making an easily correctable mistake. The market's going to do what it's going to do. You can control your preparation, right? Like I could have controlled that day canceling my orders at 9:59 in 30 seconds. Right? Today, if you didn't want to get trapped, you could have canceled your orders. There's a lot you can do in terms of preparation. Maybe you can take advantage of it, maybe not. Sometimes risk off is just as good as taking advantage of a big mover. But the calendar is your friend. It is a resource for you. Know what type of day it might be. Tesla, range bound. Everyone's waiting for earnings. Chip stocks, blowouts. ASML up double digits. And was gapping higher in the overnight markets because of earnings over in Europe. USD CAD, big mover. Anything dual listed had a shift at 9:45, and they had a new time that they actually released it. They used to release it at 10. Now they release it at 9:45. Something Brendan said on the live show, so everyone should have known about that. It doesn't really matter your style of trade. Make sure you get your preparation part of the routine, and looking at the calendar for anything that's important and pertinent to your style of trade, it should be one of the first things you do in your morning routine. It's a part of mine, it's a part of Sean's, it's a part of Brendan's, it's a part of Sharif's, it's a part of Adara's. So that's the real deal. Make sure you know what's up with that calendar. Don't just check your phone for messages in the morning. Know what's coming up in your day. That's the real deal.